My friend, today let's talk about the 9 things a great host does before they even set their table. I'm Nicole with the Door on the Table, and I want to share with you the 9 things the hostess with the mostest thinks about and does before they set their table for their friends and family. Now, the first thing that we're going to be talking about is theme. Our host thinks about if there's going to be a theme for the party and if that theme is going to be carried out onto the table. Maybe they're going to be hosting a get-together for a birthday, an anniversary, a baby shower, or just for a holiday. Do they want that theme to then also be on the table? Because that theme is going to kind of dictate almost everything else. Next thing they're going to be thinking about is the vibe they want for their gathering. Do they want this to be an intimate affair? Do they want this to be a laid-back and casual gathering? Or is this going to be an elegant, elaborate event? Next, with that theme and the vibe comes color. What are the colors they're going to be using for the event and then on the table? So if they're going to be doing a theme, that theme will probably dictate the colors. And then sometimes that vibe also dictates the colors. So for example, Christmas is right around the corner, which typically means red and green. If they're going to go with that red and green theme, are they going to carry it out on the table? Or do they want to go with a really popular Ralph Lauren Christmas right now, and they're going to introduce plaids and tartans and maybe some dark blue along with the red and green? Or maybe they want a really laid back Christmas holiday and they would just want a very natural look. Depending on that theme, the vibe, and the colors, that's the first thing they're going to be thinking about. Then from there, once they've decided those 3 things, they're going to go to the second thing, and that is, what are they going to do with their table? Is it going to be a bare table? Are they going to go get a table runner? Maybe they're going to use a tablecloth on it, because if it's going to be a more elegant event, they're probably going to want a tablecloth. If it's going to be a real casual, laid back table runner, no tablecloth. Also, they're going to think about, are they going to be using paper napkins or cloth napkins? Because depending on the vibe and the overall feeling, that might determine paper napkins or cloth napkins. Then the third thing they're going to do is they're going to take a look at all of their tableware. They're going to determine their place settings. Are they going to be using chargers? They're going to have dinner plates. Are they going to want salad plates, bowls, dessert plates? With the glassware, are they going to want water glasses, white wine, red wine, champagne coupes? The flatware, are they going to want a teaspoon and a soup spoon? Are they going to want a salad fork and an entree fork? How many pieces do they need, and do they have everything that they need? They're also going to take a look at those pieces and make sure that they are chip-free, crack-free, that the glassware doesn't have any water spots or smudges, because they can clean those. But if there's anything chipped and cracked, they're going to have to go get additional pieces. And do they have enough pieces for all of the guests they're inviting? So they're going to kind of take and think about all of that together. Then the fourth thing our great host is going to do is they're going to polish their table. Now, I'm sure it's clean, but they're really going to go that extra step and give it a really good polish and make sure that any smudges or watermarks are removed. And then the sixth thing that they're going to do is we're coming back to ambiance. They're going to look at the lighting in the room and that ambiance, that vibe they want to create. Do they want something bright and festive? Do they need brighter lights? Do they want something a little bit more intimate, a little bit more casual? Are they going to be able to dim the lights in the room? Are they going to want candles on the table? Or maybe they're going to use rechargeable lamps. So if they're going to be using candles, they're going to go take a look at the candles they have, make sure they've got enough candles, but they're also going to make sure that they're not like down to nubs. And if they are, they're going to go get a whole nother set of candles. If they're going to be doing the rechargeable lamps, they're going to make sure they are completely charged before the event. So that way, the day, night of the party, those lamps are going to stay on the whole time. Then the seventh thing that they're going to do is they're going to think about the food they're going to be serving and how they're going to be serving it. Is this going to be a buffet meal? Is this going to be food that's going to be placed in the center of the table? Or is this going to be such a formal event that the food is going to be served to the guests as they're seated? Because depending on how the food's going to be served, the host needs to decide or determine, do they have enough serving pieces? The condition of the serving pieces, the size of the serving pieces. Do they need new or more serving pieces? Do they have enough for all of the food that they're going to be serving? That also kind of comes into with those food dishes, if they're going to be putting them on the table, Will there be enough space for everything on the table? Are they going to be able to make sure that everything is going to fit on the table together? Which kind of comes into the 8th thing that our hostess with the mostest does. And that is they are going to look at the centerpiece and the other elements that are going to be going on their table. So if they're going to be serving the food on the table, family style, they're going to want less amount of decor. Versus if they're going to be doing a buffet style, they can have more decor in the middle of their table. But they need to determine in advance, and they're going to determine in advance, how much decor can go on their table, how much do they want on the table. Now, one of the things I have not yet mentioned is our great host, they are going to go and shop their home first. They're going to go through everything they have around their home, see what they have that they can use on their table setting for the day, the night of their party. And if they don't have enough, they're then going to go and find more. With that, they're also going to take some time a few days before the gathering, and they're going to kind of do a mock table setting. They're going to make sure how all of the place settings look and how it's going to work with what they're planning to do in the middle of the table. Is that centerpiece going to work? Is it going to be too big? Is it not going to be big enough? Can they add more? Do they need to take more away? So they're going to have that whole idea, the whole plan set and know days before the party. That way, when it comes time to set the table, it's going to be so easy because they've kind of really already done it before. And then the very last thing, the 9th thing that our great host does before they set their table is they have a seating strategy. Now, they might not need a seating strategy. They could just be having a gathering with friends and family who are always together, and it doesn't matter where everybody sits. But maybe they're planning something with people who don't know each other or haven't seen each other in a really long time, and they want to make sure that they've got people sitting together who need to reconnect or who need to meet each other. And they're going to set the place settings with those personal place cards. And let me tell you, there's nothing that is more meaningful than sitting down to a meal with your name at the place setting, because that means you are invited. The host wants you there at the table with them. Those are the 9 things our great host, our hostess with the mostest, that you are going to be, does before every time they set their table. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I look forward to seeing you next time here at the table. Bye.